Thank you, Chairman Fox, Ranking Member Scott, and members of the committee, and also thank you, Representative Bonamici, for that kind introduction. I agree with the committee that anti-Semitism is rising on college campuses, including our own. This committee is also right to be shining a light on the subject for the American people. In that spirit, let me address 4 issues as they relate to Northwestern: anti-Semitism on campus, our guiding principles of community safety and academic freedom, the encampment itself, and our plans moving forward. First, our universities are on the front lines of the disturbing spike in anti-Semitism that accelerated following Hamas's horrific terrorist attacks on October 7th. Across the country, the open harassment and intimidation of Jewish people on the streets and social media has also infected our classrooms and our campuses. As the descendant of Holocaust victims and survivors, rising anti-Semitism in the world affects and alarms me personally. I lost relatives in the Holocaust, so it is not abstract to me that the world's Jewish population has not recovered to where it was before World War II. The fact that Israel is a cherished homeland is not theoretical to me. It is where family members who survived the war found refuge. My family's history is a constant reminder to me of what can happen when anti-Semitism is allowed to take root. Where there is conduct that threatens the Northwestern community, we must impose discipline, and we have done so. Yet I'll be the first to admit our existing rules and policies are falling short. We must improve our processes to meet the current challenge. At my direction, we'll be working over the summer to update our student conduct code. These new policies will be in place before students return to campus. We are confident we can continue to promote 2 principles at the core of our mission: free expression and academic freedom, while disciplining harassment and intimidation. I want to take a moment to address the encampment at Northwestern and the choices we made. On the morning of April 25th, an encampment was erected on Deering Meadow, an iconic gathering space at the center of our campus. As I watched what was unfolding and at encampments across the country, I believed that the danger it posed grew every day it stayed up. Every day brought new reports of intimidation and harassment. And then on April 28th, the day before the tents came down, the threat of confrontation escalated with the addition of outsiders to the university. For the safety of our entire community, I knew I had to act. We had 3 options to do so. First option was letting the tents stay up indefinitely. We never seriously considered this option. They were a threat to our community. The encampment was breaking our rules. There was anti-Semitic behavior that was making our Jewish students feel unsafe. I knew we had to take down the encampment and get it down quickly and permanently. Second, sending in our student affairs officers and the Northwestern Police Department to make arrests. That was the second option. This option ended up posing too high a risk to our students, staff, and police officers. There were limited law enforcement resources available to the university, and it also created, as we saw around the country, escalation, renewed encampments. Finally, talking with the students about leaving voluntarily. This was the path we took, and the encampment came down in just 5 days. We did not give in to any of the protesters' demands, and the commitments we made are consistent with our values. Importantly, I rejected the main student demand for divestment and will not ever recommend that Northwestern use its resources for political purposes. By engaging students with dialogue instead of force, we modeled the behavior we want to apply going forward. Now, going forward, I want to make every one of you know, I am personally committed to fighting anti-Semitism. We are going to reconstitute a task force that will benefit from the information from other task forces. We will revise our student code. We will enhance enforcement. We will increase our security. And we will do what we do best, teaching our students about the dangers of anti-Semitism. I'd like to thank you all for listening, and I look forward to your questions.